Hi, CHA family, Miss Pena's here. Okay, so Miss Pena really enjoys painting at any time that I have an opportunity to do that. So today I thought it would be fun to do a geometric art painting with you guys. And what I really like about doing this is that anybody can do it, and when you're done with it, it makes you feel like you've created this really nice piece of artwork. And at the same time, we get to practice our quadrilaterals and our pentagons. And so I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide how to do this. And this is something that you can do we're going to be using paints, but you could also be using crayons or markers. An example that I've done with my kids is chalk on the sidewalk. Another example is that I actually have a green wall, and I've used that same technique on the green wall. And there it is. So that's the example you have there. Okay, so let's get started on our mini lesson. Do I look different? Yeah, I just went and got my hair done. I'm just kidding. I am just wearing a fun wig to be silly because I feel like we could all use some silliness right now. So maybe while you're doing this project, you can put on a fun wig or just make your hair silly. Or just anytime throughout the day, let's just do something fun and silly because right now we could all use that right now. So I'm going to keep my wig on because I feel like I look like somebody. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe your mom knows who that is. Okay, so let's get started on the materials that we need. I'm going to be using a piece of paper. I'm using watercolor paper to be specific. I just have these watercolors I got at like Walmart or the dollar store. I'm not using the brush that comes with it. I'm using this one because it has a wider edge and it's going to be a little bit easier to do that. But of course you can use your paintbrush. I'm using a cup of water to clean the paints in between. And then one of the most important things about this is your Scotch tape. Now, when I did the chalk example in the green room, I use what is called painter's tape. But for this, I'm going to use Scotch tape because I feel like a lot of us do have this at our house. And then I'm also using a little paper towel to clean my brush in between the colors that I'm using. All right, so the very first step in doing this is, as you can see in our example, I'm just going to be, just like you see here, I'm going to be putting tape and I'm going to be just putting it across. Now, when you're putting your tape, you don't want to overlap a line. As you can see here, I overlapped where the tape was coming this way because then you're going to be able to see it. So you want to try to make as perfect straight edges. So if a tape is already placed here, you're going to want to place the tape here without going over the line right here. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you place your tape as well. Okay, so the first thing to do is just take off the tape, and it works better, especially on the first ones that you're starting, is to make a long piece of tape. And there, or to use a long piece of tape. And there we go. I'm just going to place that first one just along my paper like that. And then I'm going to get another long piece of tape to go across, or to go up and down. And I am having issues with how I'm cutting it. So I thought I could do a joke while you're seeing me put my tape here. And my first joke is, what? And I just cut my tape off, so that's what I'm doing there, so that it's just not a whole bunch of tape on the edges. What? You could use scissors, which I probably should have gotten. What kind of key unlocks a banana? Do you know? A monkey. Okay, and now I'm starting to do a triangle here. And you can just keep putting tape across until you can get the designs that you want, like I did here. I'm going to keep doing that there. I'm going to stop the video and then restart it whenever. I'm sorry, my family's talking. But I'm going to stop the video and then restart it, and I'll have all my tape on there. So right now is maybe a good time for you to pause it and get all your tape on there right now as well. Okay, so I have taped all of my tape across, and you can't really see it. Maybe you can kind of see the glare there. Again, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. How I taped it here was different than how I taped it here, and different than how I taped it when we did the sidewalk or the green room or any other time I've done this. So I'm going to just start with any color here. And I'm sure you guys know that if you are using watercolors, the more water you put on it, the lighter your color is going to be. The less water, the darker your color is going to be. And I'm going to start with the red that is here and just start painting. And I will go ahead and give you another joke. Let's see. How come seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels. Now, if you don't recognize what kind of jokes those are what you call, or what we call anyway in our house, dad jokes. And even though Dad didn't come up with all those jokes, we all like to take turns coming up with them. We still like to call them dad jokes in our house. So I'm just going to continue painting red, and I'm going to use red in different spots before I switch colors, and that way it saves time for me to not have to clean my brush over and over again. And what you will also notice is that as you're painting, the tape that's right here stops from you being able to paint on the edges. Now, you don't want to just go whoosh, because then, of course, it's going to go over through the edges, but just take little bitty brush strokes here, and whenever you reach the tape, you can stop, and it'll prevent you from going over to the other sides. Okay, so I have finished painting all the colors here, and I think I used about 5 different colors. You can use as many colors as you want. What's something that's really great about watercolors is that they dry really fast. And I'm just going to take my towel and just kind of paper towel and go over the tape so that you can just, I would recommend you doing this before you peel the tape off, but you could also give it a little bit of extra time to dry so that you wouldn't have to do this and accidentally get some on the other colors. So that's all I'm doing right here. Okay, so once you've done that, you can just then gently peel the tape off, and look at that. I got a piece that I was not paying attention to, and it was not fully dry. But you can just gently peel off the tape, and you will get these nice clean lines. And I'm going to go ahead and peel off all the tape. Now make sure that whenever you are peeling off the tape, or anytime you're doing this, this really, especially in watercolors, doesn't take that long to do. So I would recommend just kind of taking your time and going slowly. I think that I rushed just a little bit because of the video that I'm trying to make, and I can tell that I messed up on one of my colors here. But that's okay, because we can do this. You can do this over and over again. Okay, so here is my final piece. And as you can see, it's giving you all the straight lines. It gives you that white space, and so it looks really great. Look here, I made 1, 2, 3, 4-sided shape. What is that called? A quadrilateral. Okay, let me see how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that one is a pentagon. And in fact, what kind of pentagon is it? It's an irregular pentagon because all the shapes are different lengths. So that is something that I know my 3rd graders know very well. Okay, so that's the end of the art project. Like I said, you can make it many different ways. The other examples that I showed you. And I can't wait to see what you guys design and what you draw. And remember, you can use it using watercolors. You can use it with any different kinds of materials. The most important thing is just to find a tape that works with it so that you can create those lines. All right, have fun, and let me know all the shapes that you make.